Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nicole and Craig Show.
Good morning, everybody. I didn't realize he was still talking.
Okay.
I'm sick today and tired, if anybody can tell. Sorry, go ahead, Craig. It's your turn. It's your turn. It really is.
Thanks for watching the show. I forgot what I was going to say, so who cares? Whatever Hanson says.
He has had a Red Bull. We have this new light that is like right in my eye right now. So, hi, Jessica. Good morning.
I can't wave to you because I can't reach the stupid button.
Oh, that's so sad. You can't wave now, which is super annoying.
What is your deal right now?
You had a Red Bull. I'm sick. That's what it is.
Now I'll probably be sick in 3 days. Oh, God, I can feel the germs. All right, anyway, thanks for watching. We're going to have a great show. I am always, as always, am Nicole Hansen, and this is Craig Fredling. It's different because they see it backwards. So.
Oh, that's why you always say that?
No, that's not why.
That joke's old after here, dude.
Yeah.
Logo with her shirt. You guys are so cute. Oh, crap. We are coordinating again today.
Like,
thanks, Jessica. We didn't even notice.
The lamest brothers and sisters. Love it. Okay. I know what you guys are thinking. You've got an inspection, and it needs to be a response made or something along those lines, and you don't know how to do it. They probably know how, but you're probably doing it wrong.
That's probably true.
And that's why Nicole and I are here to educate everyone on how to do inspection and inspection responses, or at least just give you 5 tips. So hopefully we see some better stuff out there. All right, moving right along. This means number 5. Number 5. First of all, and you would not believe how many agents do not know what that paragraph actually says, but every agent should read the inspection paragraph. It is paragraph...
It's this one.
It's paragraph... Hold on, what's the number?
It's
M.
right here.
It's the number M. Paragraph M as in Michael.
Oh, yeah.
You should know what that is. You know, it's a couple paragraphs. You should know every word of it.
The whole page, basically. The whole page.
There's some things in there that you need to know. They do change it every once in a while, every year. Like sometimes something will change on it. I think we went over changes in the contract at the beginning of this year.
We did, but I think the changes they made to inspection was very good this year. It's spelled really clearly out that the buyer has to give the seller an opportunity to remedy defects.
Yeah, that's something. So make sure when you're working with a buyer and you're going over a purchase agreement with them, a lot of buyers have this misconception that if anything's wrong with the house, they can get out of it and get their earnest money back. That is not true. You have to give the seller an opportunity to correct the defect.
Yep.
All right. So
hold on, I had something else to say about that.
Don't touch me. You know you're like walking germ. You're like an infestation.
And I tend to read that actual section like E, F, and G. You are going, and H actually, you're going to read those completely to the client so that they understand what a defect is. If a previous defect is disclosed, like if the seller says the dishwasher's not working, the buyer can't ask for a dishwasher because it's not working. How a defect is defined, and basically that, they have to give the seller an opportunity to remedy.
A lot of us old school agents will remember the old, like the old board forms that we used to use, probably at least 10 years ago now. They used to actually spell out what was and was not considered to be a major defect. What were major defects?
I don't know.
Well, they used to say what was a major, what were defect. No, I don't know. But it used to say like windows that don't open freely. A lot of things like that were actually spelled out in the contract saying that these are not major defects. So a lot of old school agents, we still kind of think that those are the right guidelines or whatever, but those were taken out of there because we don't have the authority to decide that. So that's why we don't use that contract anymore.
Yep.
Or part of the reason.
Different financing has different rules for financing. Like
Whatever.
FHA, conventional, whatever. You may have a window that doesn't open on an FHA and it's a big deal, but on a conventional it's not going to be.
Yeah. Number 5 is boring me. So we're moving along to number 4 now. Okay, now this is another one that should go back to number 5. You have to read that paragraph. I see it all the time where buyers will, they'll do their inspection and then they'll ask for more testing. We want more testing, but the contract clearly states if an inspector says you should have this checked out by a structural engineer, you should have it checked out by an HVAC company, that's still the buyer's responsibility. It says it very clearly in the inspection.
Yeah, but the problem with that is why would the buyer pay a trip charge and then not have the work done because it's the seller's responsibility to do the work if they agree to the repair.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of a gray area. It kind of depends. Like I would say too, mold is the biggest one. 5 years ago, there was a lot of inspectors that weren't licensed to say call mold.
Yeah.
So they would say there's like a biological contaminant or an organic like growth or something, like really goofy words that basically just said mold.
I still think that to this day we still have a lot of inspectors that way. I just say it's mold because either if it's either biological whatever or mold, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna have to be cleaned and taken care of.
Yeah. So what do they say? If it quacks like a duck, it looks like a duck. I mean, I don't have to do DNA tests to, it's a duck. I can see that. Mold. It looks like mold.
Well, because it's either
tastes like mold.
It's either moss or like mold. It's one of the two, and you got to get rid of both.
It looks like it might be moss.
Yeah, because that's
weird.
That's the other thing it can be, because it'll be like moss or whatever instead of mold. But it still has to be taken care of, so it doesn't matter.
It's probably not moss, everyone. It's probably mold.
It probably is. However, that's why they put it on there. I think only once ever I've had it not be mold.
I don't think I've ever had moss growing.
Hey, I'm telling you, it had to happen one time. You know how that goes, guys? One time is all it takes.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry, Nicole. She's not feeling well, so. Number 3. Be clear. What does your buyer want and how? Like when you're giving a seller an inspection response or you're working with the buyer, you're preparing the response. You don't just say, like if they say roof leaking, you don't just say roof leaking. That's stupid. The inspector already said the roof's leaking. We know this. What do you want done? Say fix the roof, whatever. Get the roof inspected, get it certified, get it repaired. Be very clear. Like a lot of like plumbing things this happens to a lot in electrical and things like that. If you want something done, you need to specify exactly. And sometimes it's a pain in the butt because maybe there's a whole bunch of little things, like there's an outlet in this room that doesn't work, there's an outlet in this one.
Copy and paste, baby.
Copy and paste. Get an amendment or an addendum.
There you go.
That's why there's an extra pages,
So here's the thing. I like to be nice. When I put in a buyer's inspection response, all the electrical goes in like number 1. All the plumbing goes in like number 2. I try to group the contractor, like one thing, like all the things the contractor is doing to 1, and then I number it. For the love of God, just number it. I'll get inspections where it's like they just write, and I'm like, could you just do numbers? Because then at least when you're responding back and forth, agree to number 1, agree to number 2, agree to number 3, don't agree to number 4. Seller's not doing it, or you just leave it off. Whatever. It makes everybody's life so much easier. And be clear and concise. Like, don't just write, hey, this should be repaired. Like, that's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Because then you're giving the seller a choice to repair it, in my opinion. And that can be interpreted that way. So, just really read what you're sending over and make sure you're very, very clear on what you're asking for.
That's a great tip. And I would say some buyers have an expectation everything's going to be done or something along those lines. I always tell the buyer, look, they're only going to do the things we ask them to do, and they're only going to do it the way we ask them to do it. So they need to make sure that they are comfortable with what you write and things like that. And don't try to get too creative either. If I always say this, if you win the lottery and you were out of here like tomorrow, your office manager is going to pick up that contract and they're going to take that, the deal to closing or whatever. They should be able to read that inspection response and know exactly what needs to be done, and that's what's always very important. Make sure you convey the correct message from the buyer to the seller. It should be very simple.
Now remember, the buyer should never have the expectation that everything should be done, because you read the purchase agreement to them and they should understand that only major defects.
Nicole, in a perfect world, I agree with you, but
saying.
That's why we're doing this video, because it doesn't happen like that all the time.
No, it doesn't.
All right, so now that you guys are all educated up to step 3, are you guys ready for number 2?
I'm ready.
I can't hear them.
I know, but yeah. I think they're ready. All 5 of them are ready. Yay!
All right. Let's see. Number 2. Do you want it done by professionals? Again, this is about being very clear.
Yep.
Do you want it done by professional, licensed, bonded, insured companies, or do you want it done by just any rando?
Yeah.
Or Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe can do it.
Yep.
He's only electrocuted himself 3 times. He's fine. He knows what he's doing. Do you want copies of invoices and receipts? Does your buyer expect to get copies of paperwork that they know it was done? If they do, then you have to ask for it.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
Kathy.
I thought in the inspection response though that
Sasha.
updated today, or updated this year, and it did say receipts have to be given regardless.
I don't think it says that.
It's in the inspection response itself.
Oh, we didn't print that. We're not
No.
prepared for that one.
But I'm pretty sure
Sorry,
it says
everyone.
it in there now. But a good idea
I don't
though,
think it does.
I'm pretty sure it does, is to add that you have to give like 7 days prior to closing those receipts. Because if you don't, and the receipts are given at the closing table and they're not full, or they're not done, or they're handwritten, you can't follow up and make sure that person's really a contractor. And, you know, again, to Craig's point is, who is going to do it? Because if you don't write a licensed person has to do it, or a handyman or whoever, that means the seller can do it. And the seller can pick Uncle Bob to come over, you know, who had his own handyman business 50 years ago and is now retired, you know, and he slaps boards up there, and then you pull it down later and it's all still rotted because they didn't actually replace what they need to replace. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And sometimes little stuff like a GFCI outlet, I mean, it's a couple of screws. It's not that a normal homeowner, I think an average homeowner maybe can change that, but it's
I probably couldn't do that.
What's that?
I probably couldn't do that. I could
I probably couldn't either.
If I
mean,
really
I could
wanted
do it,
to,
but
I probably could.
Yeah.
Like, you get my Home Depot book out, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say that.
I'd have to watch some YouTube videos.
Because you would probably use the screwdriver that wasn't like rubber handled on the end. And then
For sure I'm getting shocked at least once. For sure.
Phone call.
Sorry, Nicole got a phone call again.
Right.
But yeah, for sure I'm getting shocked at least once. But yeah, so be very clear. What do you want? Do you want professionals to, you know, some things like, let's say the basement needs waterproofing or something like that. It's pretty popular in Northwest Indiana. Your buyer might say, I want it done by, and then specify a certain company, a foundation company or a waterproofing type company, something like that. You know, if you want to be that specific, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that sometimes makes everyone's life a little easier.
Yeah, I am very specific, very, very detailed in that, because I want to know who's going to do it, that it's licensed person. So when I'm getting the receipts back, I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
She doesn't have to worry about it. Do you know what she means? I think you do. No, I don't know. Okay, ready for number one. Our number one tip. This is almost a two-part tip too, by the way. But don't wait too long. If something's going to fall apart, let's say the buyer got really bad buyer's remorse, or let's just say the house needs a lot of work and they weren't prepared for that, and they want to get out of the contract. First of all, you already would have told them, if you represent the buyer, they can't. They have to give the seller the opportunity to correct major defects. So they have to ask that. Now, if the seller counters it or says no, we're not doing something, you know, then you can submit a mutual release. You know, that's where I think a lot of agents get into trouble. And really, we've had trouble with small companies where it's like a broker owner basically is the only agent there. So you have no one else to complain against or complain to. Like, they don't have a manager that can say, hey, stop being an idiot. You know, here's the problem. If the seller doesn't release the earnest money, that is an interest in the property. So the title companies will not close that property. So if a seller is mad, they want the buyer's earnest money, the buyer says, hey, I did an inspection, it needs some work, I'm requesting the work to be done, you're not going to do it, I'm out, I want my earnest money back. The buyer really should get their earnest money back. Yeah. You know, and a seller that wants to be hard-headed and hold on to it, and it's really, they're shooting themselves in the foot in this seller's market. Every day that they're losing activity by sitting off the market.
Hi, Talia. Are you watching us from Cancun, by the way? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good place to be.
So now that he's done talking for the
right?
Jesus. So yeah,
if
it's gonna fall apart, don't hold on to it. It's not your job to figure out what a major defect is and what it isn't. It's not your job to tell the buyer what to ask for and what not to ask for. That's the buyer's job. You know, if they ask you your opinion, you should be telling them based on like appraisal or whatnot, like, hey, these things probably want to pass appraisal. Remember, you're not a contractor. You have to walk a very fine line with inspection response. You know, you may look at a report and think it's terrible, and you never know. The buyer may have a mom or dad who's been a contractor forever, and none of that stuff bothers them. You know, go into the inspection response, get a feel for how your buyer thinks about the inspection. Hey, I got the report, I looked it over. How are you guys feeling? Like, you know, what repairs do you guys want done? Versus you going in there, oh, you need to fix this and this and this and this and this. That's not your decision to make. That's the buyer's decision.
It's not your decision.
No.
You're very bossy this morning.
Stay in your lane. I'm always bossy. Stay in your lane. That's the big thing I can say. Inspection response sticks in my craw. That's a big thing.
Sticks in our craw, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. So.
All right. Well, I think that's I think that's as much as we can give you guys today.
Yeah, I'm on vacation next week, so Craig swears we have a recorded video. I'm not sure that's true, so I have to go back and look. If we don't have a recorded video, then Craig's going to be here with a guest next week, I think.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
You might have to.
Forgot about that.
Yep.
The Nicole and Craig show without Nicole. I wonder what will happen.
Talea says, yeah, I'm laying on the beach. I wish I was laying on the beach, Talea.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. That's true.
Oh, wait, I will be in like a day. Thanks.
We should do a Nicole and Craig show live from somewhere else.
Like Daytona. Spring break.
I guess.
What?
Yeah, we're old. What are we going to do in Daytona?
That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna, hey, spring break. I'll be like
It's
passed out by 6
9:30.
p.m.
Yeah.
Hung over for 3 days. No, anyway, all right. Thanks everyone for watching. Happy Friday. Happy whatever. Happy inspection responses. Thanks for giving us better inspection responses forever.
Send us ideas. Somebody gave Craig an idea at the dinner last night. He doesn't remember what it was. I'm calling him out right now. I forgot it. So please text him whatever that was. That because he's like, no, it was really good, and I can't remember it. So
Someone did give me someone gave me a great I was like, yeah, that's a really good one, and then I didn't remember.
Didn't follow through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you put it in your notes on your phone like you have an electronic whatever.
All right, I think we're done. I think people are done listening to us right now.
I don't know. I think you get like all nervous about that. I didn't make your face turn red today. Dang it.
Sucker.
All right, guys. Yeah, so
hold on, maybe I can make it turn red.
Ugh, that. Never mind what I. Anyway. Never mind. Send us your ideas, like, share. Thanks for watching as usual. See you guys next week.
All right, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Do it.